Hey there, everybody. Brodnax here with another episode of Stager Talk. And I am super stoked today because I have a return guest, Kevin Grant. Welcome back again. Not your first rodeo.
No, thanks. Great to be here.
Absolutely. And we have a first timer, Rosemary Lopez-Gonzalez. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. It's so great to see you again. Yes, thank you. Well, it's actually great to be here for the first time.
Excellent. You froze just a little bit, but hopefully that glitch will just work itself right on through. Okay, so we're going to talk today with the leaders of the Jacksonville chapter, because Jacksonville this year, this is the Stager Talk Awards edition, chapter of the year. Well done.
Thank you.
Yes, I was mighty shocked, as you remember, Show. I think I wasn't even 100% paying attention because I didn't think that we were going to win, and all of a sudden that our name. So.
You know, I hear that all the time, and when we read everybody's submissions, we're like, what? Like, what do you mean you didn't know you were going to win? Look what you guys did. But it is, it's impressive because I think your chapter's always been a strong chapter. I remember I went years ago when you and I first met. I remember I went in the fall, but we had a great meeting and you had great content back then. And you've stepped up into this role. And just over the years, everything has just been really consistent, really solid leadership. So number one, well done on that. But then number two, I know even through COVID, you guys found ways to pivot.
Right.
So how did that take place? What was happening in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, and you're exactly right there that we've had great leadership over the last several years. I mean, I've only been a member for about 3 or 4 years, but through my wife, I've been really kind of involved even longer than that. And we've got, some national leaders that are part of the chapter. So we've always had that desire to keep it going. And through COVID, it really took that follow up to make sure that people were showing up. It took consistent, different ways to do the meeting. Sometimes it was at a shared co-work space. Sometimes it was on location. Sometimes it was in a house, and so we had to keep that variety going. And then that, as COVID waned, we did have some attendance wane. We had some issues because staging kind of went away a little bit in Jacksonville as homes became extremely easy to sell, and staging wasn't the thing to do in Jacksonville really, even before COVID. And so things waned back in 2022, and so we had to pivot again this year to completely change again, and I think that's helped significantly.
So this year, Rosemary, you all decided to do larger meetings, in-depth meetings, meaning several, not just your typical hour, 90 minutes, snacks, some soda, a speaker. You had multiple speakers. And so they were longer meetings, but less frequently. So tell me about that, because it seems like that's worked out super well.
Yes, I think that's really that's actually really hitting. It's hitting a need within the community where stagers really are. We're actually taking time out to go deeper in the topic and really share broader tips, experiences, ideas, content, design trends. We've had several meetings this year that have been phenomenal. We've had really wonderful speakers come to our events, and it's giving a lot of information to the attendees, and it's just such a great resource to have here in Jacksonville. And I think that, it's just as we get better and better with the content, we're getting wonderful speakers, and we're diving in further and further, and people are really appreciating what we're offering. And going forward, the goal will be to continue doing these really helpful sessions. Like we had a biophilic design, which was really well attended. That session was wonderful, and it was very informative, and it was just hitting on current topics, current trends, things that are actually going on in the staging industry that's keeping everyone fresh and up to par. So it's been really great.
Yeah, I recently learned about the biophilic design, and I was fascinated by it. And I was actually really shocked that this appealed to stagers. And I think it's totally cool. I
Yeah,
think the more, a little bit
it
more that I
is.
keep hearing a little bit more about it as time goes on, I'm like, all right, I'm getting it now.
Yeah,
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 I
and
think it's great too. Sorry,
yeah, it
Kevin, but
is. It's just a new, yeah, to kind of jump in there. I mean, the the way that we tried to position it is that staging and design are kind of the flip sides of the same coin, and you got to pay attention to what's going on in the design world, and if that's appealing to buyers of homes, and we can incorporate that into making that home look more interesting for them, then then let's do it. And certainly every part of the country is gonna have that a little bit different feel for what is going on with that biophilic design. But we wanted to introduce it and try to be ahead of the game with our staging community if we could.
Yeah, for sure. And I love it that there's the science backs it. So for
Mhm.
those of
yes.
you that are out there that are really evidence based, this
Mhm.
is not just something where they say, oh, bring the outdoors in or make it green or, do any of that. There's actual science behind it that's been studied. And that for me, that's the little geek in me that comes out. And I'm like,
Yes.
okay, I want
Yeah.
to know more about that.
Yeah.
That's
It's
true.
yeah, it's that emotion. If you can
Yes.
create that emotional feel, that calming feel when you walk into the home, that is a huge win for doing the staging in the home.
Yeah. And what I like also about the science is that the feels are, it's not even necessarily something that you notice or that you would assign a like to. So you might not necessarily like something as a person on your own that you recognize that, but the senses take over. So it's not even about, it's just your senses, how they're responding to it. So
Yeah,
it's so interesting.
Yes.
very
Yeah,
cool.
it's really great. Yes. Hmm.
And it's autonomic. It's like it's just breathing. It just happens.
Yes.
Lie in
Yeah,
your brain just catches on to it. So I think that is
yeah.
so cool. So your membership actually increased too, from what I understand.
Yeah, our membership went up a little bit, but the twist to that is we have taken an approach this year, and Rosemary's been a key part of this as our president elect going into next year to change the way we have people come to the meetings. Is we started charging for each meeting instead of just paying a dues for local. But even if you're a local member, you still pay to come to the meeting, but you get a discount.
Yes.
And so that has expanded our reach.
Hmm.
And we have about half real estate agents and half stagers at our meetings now. So it's expanded the audience because in the end, that's our Trojan horse is, yeah, you're there as a real estate agent, and learning about things that can help your business as a small business owner. But the Trojan horse is, hey, you got a bunch of stagers there talking about how to make your homes as a listing agent look better.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always think
Mhm.
it's crucial for our chapters to include agents. I mean, it's one thing from the very get-go, we said, have at least half your meetings. I mean, you can certainly do very stager specific meetings, but do at least half of them where it's going to be of interest to other people, even title and mortgage lenders. And stagers are
Right.
so much the networkers. It makes so much sense to be able to provide that resource. And it really does work. You have member pricing and non-member pricing. Get a little Panera bread sandwiches or some chips or something with your speakers, have a deep dive into it. And it's
Yep.
just really that success. And
That's it.
I also know, also in your area, um, teaching staging to sell what every agent should know. You've got
Mhm.
chapters members that teach that. It's this whole golden trio is what we talk about. It is, very consistent meetings. You beefed up your marketing efforts as well, increased your membership, and had better quality meetings all around. So it
Mhm.
Right.
is literally the epitome of exactly, if you do what we're suggesting that you do, it all works out.
Right.
It's just
Yeah.
like magic.
Yeah, and
Yes.
and also one thing is our president next year is with Rosemary has an
Yes.
organizing company, so she is kind of tangentially a stager, you know,
Yes.
um, but she's going to be key to the organization. So I think that's a great example of how this industry is really more broad than just some people who are putting some furniture in a home.
Exactly. So Rosemary, now that I know this little
Yes.
bit about you, watch Kevin, watch what happens.
Yep.
You've been
Oh
through
my
this.
gosh.
So,
Teed it up.
Rosemary,
Yes,
how are you about public speaking? Are you a fan of that? Can I put you on a stage?
I am. I can practice a lot and then become
She can handle
prepared.
it. She's got it.
I think I could do
Look,
it, but
look, if someone leaks out a little skill set somewhere, I am on it. I will exploit it until the cows come home. So here's just a suggestion and an idea. I'll literally forget that I mentioned it in 30 minutes. So no shade if you don't end up doing it, but please consider putting in to speak at RESACon, how to add organizing to your staging business.
hey, that's really brilliant. I will surely,
It's a
absolutely
great
consider that.
topic. In
Yes.
addition, just even if you're not necessarily adding it to your business, understanding the skill sets in general, I think would help clients tremendously.
Absolutely. And I feel like part of this was a natural or organic process for me to become a stager, because in the process of organizing and working with realtors and helping people get organized in their homes, I was able to do some staging and just really help people who are actually selling their properties do staging so that it would increase the value of their sales. So it feels like it really all works hand in hand. And what we're doing within our chapter is reaching a broader audience with a longer reach with other professionals within the industry. So if we're also including professional organizers, you have our realtors, we have and it's a natural step for organizers to move into becoming stagers. It's just so organic, and that's exactly what happened for me. And so I trained, and it just became the best opportunity to blend and really enhance your business. So I think it's been really great, and I do have that part as part of my portfolio in my business.
Yeah, I love it. I think I actually do enjoy a good organizing day. Last weekend, I had a 10-day staycation last week, and I went into my garage and I'm like, okay, I so don't need all this stuff. So just going through and purging, it's just such a great feel afterwards.
Yes.
Yes, it's transformational. And I think really that's what happens with staging and organizing and selling properties. It's just a transformational experience. And for my take, when you're doing an organizing session, it's really serving the person that you're working with so that they have that comfort and that, that feel of, this is the best space. I'm so happy with it now. I'm not angry with this garage anymore. So I think it's really a great opportunity to, just to blend it all together.
Absolutely. So 2 questions I'm actually super curious about organizing. Do you find that the majority of your organizing clients, is this something that you're doing with them where you're having to be a little bit of a like, let me hold your hand. I'm going to, let me hold your hand through this. I know this is a little bit rough, but we're going to sit down and we're going through this and we're doing it. Or do you do it on your own? And second part of the question is, with the organizing side of the business, is there an age demographic that you seem to work most with?
Okay, yeah, those are great. Okay, so those are great questions. So the first one is I will design the package according to whatever it is that the work sessions are according to whatever the client wants. So some clients need a hands-on experience because they can't make the decisions, they're overwhelmed. And so I'll walk them through that. And that's where I come in, and the one-on-one experience is really life-changing for them when they are stuck. Some people are go-getters, and then they can get a plan from me and do a DIY. So, and then check in with me while they're doing their DIY. And then I do like virtual coaching on that with them. I've done some virtual with them. And so then I'm their, organizing accountability partner, and they have their homework and assignments. But this is really all customized to how people are going to be able to use the service. So it's not going to be the same for everyone. So I had the opportunity to do an organizing job for the Real Housewives of New Jersey. And I was able to sit with them and do a kitchen, and it was actually in person. And we did the pre-work, but of course, an in-person experience is always a better opportunity for the people that are getting their organization.
Love it. And is there a specific demographic age-wise that typically use organizers more that you find?
I have found that, yeah, I would think that maybe, the 35-year-old to some working women till 70 and even beyond. My range is between that age demographic. And then it depends on, where they are in terms of where their life is. Some people are empty nesters and they want to just start all over again. They want to just do like a full Marie Kondo experience. And so that's a good range for organizing, because women at that point of their lives, they already know they're changing and they're moving into different seasons, and they want to have more control and less things to worry about and just more freedom. And so, that's a really good demographic that I have been working with.
I think we could have used your services for my Graham. She went into assisted living last year, and my aunt that lives in Indiana, least qualified, love her, I do love her, least qualified person to be managing this project. I think it was 10 months before they got everything out of the house and had it listed. Nobody wanted to stage it. And I'm like, look, it's right by Indianapolis Airport. Why don't you short-term rental this? You can get a company,
Yes.
you can make money while you're doing it. But
Right.
I digress because I know nothing about real estate. So it is what it
Oh,
is.
yeah, right. Yeah, sure.
We'll leave that to the professionals. Even
I
though
know there's
you
got to be like, if only my family had a professional person that worked in the
Yeah,
industry,
I
that
know.
might know just a
they would
little bit.
listen.
They
Who knew?
might find some information useful, but I don't know where to find that type of person, so I don't know.
No, no. We'll make some calls for you.
I'm telling you. Now that's when you can say, I even say, according to my research, like Terry Watson said,
Right.
when he taught us at RESACon, according to the national blah, blah, blah,
Right.
it doesn't
Yeah.
work. See, I told you this was going to be a free session of Stager Talk, you guys. We talk about all
This
kinds
is
of
great.
stuff. So again,
Yes.
we're coming to the end of our time, but I want to thank you both for joining me. You guys did a really exceptional job during COVID, exceptional leadership over the years. Keep it in the family, loving that. Just got to get some adult children in here and carry them on
Yeah.
through, Kevin.
You got it.
Terry, you just gotta, take your kids. We're gonna work them up through the family as well. Just have family traditions and staging like they do long-term, doctors and lawyers and real estate agents. So there you go.
There you go.
yes, for
Perfect.
sure.
Perfect.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining me, and for everybody else, give a big congratulations to the Jacksonville chapter. You see any of their members out online, they did it well. So big round of applause for y'all. And until
Thank
next
you.
time, happy staging, everybody.
Yep.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.